5 p.m. We're going to start off with the roll call to the Director of Administration. Please do that.
Yep. Senate President Smith.
Here.
Senator Kurtz.
Here.
Senator Rhodes.
Here.
Senator Tobine.
Here.
Senator Joseph.
Here.
Senator Thielen.
Here.
Senator Del Rosario.
Here.
Senator Powers.
Here.
Senator Cordova.
Here.
Senator Hernandez.
Unexcused.
Senator Newberry.
Here.
Senator
Hey,
Robinson.
this is Karina.
Hey, Karina, we're going through attendance on the special session right now, but if you just want to hang out with us, we'll be entering caucus shortly.
Cool.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you for being here. Sorry.
Yeah.
Senator Robinson.
Here.
Director of Administration. Janice Thomas. Did I just do Senate?
Okay, cool. Now moving on to the approval of prior meeting minutes. Is there a motion to approve last meeting minutes?
I move to approve last meeting minutes.
Second.
Are there any objections? Seeing none, last meeting minutes are approved. Now moving on to the approval of the agenda. Before approving the agenda, we need to amend the agenda to change the room number to L120. Is there a motion to amend?
I move to amend the agenda to the L120.
Second.
Is there any objections? Seeing none, I will make that amendment. Is there a motion to approve this meeting's minute or this meeting's agenda? Is there a second? Are there any objections? Seeing none, this meeting's agenda is approved. Now moving on to the call to the audience. Is there any members of the audience present who wish to speak at this time not related to the ASC Supreme Court Justice nomination? Okay, awesome. Now moving on to the ASU Supreme Court Justice nomination. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us why you would like to be the Supreme Court?
Hi, my name is Steven Sidner. That's with a PH and YDNOR for the last name. Please pronounce it correctly. Okay. I want to be a Supreme Court justice because I believe that we have a duty to uphold the rules in the Constitution set forth by the members back when it was written, 7-8 years ago, and I don't think that's being done, and so I think that it's my obligation to come in and step forth, and if someone sues or something, that I should rule and look at the case fairly according to the Constitution and the bylaws of Arizona State University.
Are there any questions? I have one. How are you planning on prioritizing the ASU Supreme Court in terms of your internship or school or any other extracurricular activities?
Yeah, so I do Blaze Radio in terms of prioritizing. Obviously, I should require us on there for Supreme Court justices that we are allowed to miss a certain amount. I have looked over that, and we are also allowed to be there by video conference. So if I'm not able to go do it, I can still be there on video conference. In terms of prioritizing it against all the other activities, I'll be there if I'm required to be there and I don't have class.
Okay, I believe Senator Tobine has a question.
Yeah, so I have a quick question.
Yep.
So the biggest thing about being a Supreme Court justice is being able to rule impartially. With that being said, how do you plan to handle your impartiality, and how do you plan on taking yourself out of the impartial stances that you may find yourself in?
Yeah, I was actually talking to Ryan about this because he might have a couple of suits that he comes up, and so I'm like, well, Ryan, should I abstain from it because I know you? And he's like, well, we know each other, but we're not extremely good friends or something. So in cases of that, abstention wouldn't be necessary, but if say he was my roommate, or if my roommate, doubt he would ever care, would sue and comes up to argue the case, I would abstain from it. Or if I have a vested interest in what's going on, of course, I would also abstain.
Awesome. I believe Vice President Hernandez has a question.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep.
Awesome. So my question for you is, do you have any prior experience with policies? Because this position definitely has to require knowledge of policies, definitely an understanding of all the staff members within student government, as well as all the campus services. So my question to you is, do you have any knowledge on USG? Do you have any experience within USG? Council of Presidents, have you gone to their meetings before, or have you connected with any of our coalitions at Tempe?
Prior experience at USG, I actually interviewed with Frank Smith when he was president freshman year for marketing or something. Didn't get it, but at that, when they did the slices stuff, I would go and fill out forms. I did the debate Tuesday, but in terms of policy, I'm a minor in public policy, so there's that. Obviously, if you do a simple search around the ASU website, you can easily look at these different councils and boards and stuff, and I'm reading the bylaws and the Constitution and the stuff in regards to justices.
Thank you. I also have another follow-up question. So you mentioned that your major is public policy and minor.
No, my minor is public policy, my major is journalism.
Correct. That minor being applied, if you were granted this position, how would you use your knowledge and experience for this position with your education and policy? And another question for you is, what are your strengths, and how would you apply those strengths to the position?
What are my strengths? A concise and precise writer. I'm well thought out with making decisions, and I feel like that was the one reason I got nominated. If you read anything that I generally write, I'm pretty straight to the point, but I also, I think I prove a lot of things that I say. I back up with a number of facts that can easily be found. And in terms of how will I use my stuff I learned in public policy in my classes, there's a lot to that because we learn a lot in public policy. We learn how to look at case studies and find what we need in case studies and write papers on that. I think I can learn what I learned with dissecting case studies. I can use the same to dissect cases that are brought before me.
Thank you.
Any further questions? Yeah.
What originally made you interested or want this?
Actually, Jimmy messaged me and he's like, "Hey, I think you would be really good for this." I'm thinking, I thought about this before. Ryan Boyd last year, 2 years ago, posted about it. Thought about it then, but wasn't sure because I have an interest in the law, specifically constitutional law, also criminal law. In high school, I did courses and some practices and learned a little bit on that side of the legal spectrum. Taken, of course, journalism majors have to take a mass comm law class, and so I believe that's one reason I was interested in the position, because I have the unique ability, being from two sides of the legal spectrum, to decide on cases.
Any other questions? Seeing none, is there a motion to confirm Stephen Sidnor as the as downtown's ASU Supreme Court nomination? Is there a motion to approve? Is there a second? Can we do a roll call vote for this nomination, please?
Senator Kurtz?
Aye.
Senator Rhodes?
Aye.
Senator Tobin?
Aye.
Senator Joseph?
Aye.
Senator Thielen?
Aye.
Senator Del Rosario?
Aye.
Senator Powers?
Aye.
Senator Cordova?
Aye.
Senator Hernandez?
Absolutely.
Senator Newberry?
Here.
Senator,
Yes.
Senator Robinson?
Aye.
And Senate President Smith.
Aye. By a vote of 11 ayes, 0 nays, and 0 abstentions, and 1 absent. You've been approved as our nomination. Now moving on to first read legislation, seeing none, moving on to second read legislation, seeing none, moving on to final statements. Are there any final statements at this time? Seeing none, moving on to adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn this special session at 3:16 p.m.?
I'll move to adjourn the meeting at 3:16.
Second.
Are there any objections? Seeing none, this meeting is adjourned at 3:16 p.m. Here, Stephen.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Bye, Stephen, thank you. All right, and